What's up YouTube? This is Brent, also known as Three-Legged Yo-Yo from Science Gone Wrong. I wanted to make this tutorial to show you how to use assigns on your RC-300 looper pedal. Assigns, they can be a little bit confusing at first, but what they let you do is they let you add extra functions to the pedal that the pedal doesn't just have regular buttons for right out of the box. So here's the RC-300, and next to it I got a couple Behringer FS112 momentary dual pedals. And I have those plugged into the control jacks. We're going to use them to control the new functions we're making. Zooming in here, you see here's the control. That's where these are plugged in. So straight out of the box, these control pedals will control a couple things. Let me show you. Here's 1 and 2. Oh, and it doesn't matter which of these you get. Some people don't like the Behringer ones because there's a lot of different models and they're labeled stuff like channel or whatever. So they don't know if they're getting the right one. They're all the same and they all work just great with the Boss. But you can use other models too. Anyway, you push these buttons and you'll go up and down on your memory levels. You see that on your memory patches. So that's cool. If you want that, just plug it in, you're good. And then what the 3 and 4 do is they control your effects. I'll switch over to the effects so you can see it. Category type. So it'll change your effects type. And it'll go through everything, all the different things it's got. And then naturally the expression pedal does expression for your effects. So if you have like a wah or filter or whatever, that's what it's going to do. So all that's cool, but what if you want to reassign some of these buttons to do other stuff? Alright, so here's how you make these assigns. You hit the memory edit button. And then you push the right button a bunch of times until it says assign 1. It's coming up. There it is. Assign 1 switch on. So this just means that this assignment is turned on. If you turn it off, whatever you set to happen, it won't happen. When it's on, the assignment's on. So you hit right again, and it'll take you to the target. The target is what the button you push is going to do. So I've got it set to undo redo because I think that's a really useful function that isn't on any of the normal buttons when you get the RC-300. But there's a bunch of other different stuff you can do. You can have it change the effects type. You can have it, all kinds of stuff. I'll probably make another video just explaining what all these different things are and what they do. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to make an undo. And then I'll probably go back and show you one other one. So hit right again. This is min and max. For this one, it doesn't matter. That's probably what I'll do another one to explain, but keep it simple. And then the source is what button you're going to push to activate this function. So let's go ahead and turn it to control 1, which is going to be the first button on the dual pedal that's plugged in here. So for us, it's going to be control 1 there. Back up so you can see that. Alright, cool. And then you go here and it'll ask you if you want it to be momentary or toggle. For this one, doesn't matter. I'll get into that when we make the next assignment. So that's it. You're good. When you're done, you can hit exit. If you want to make sure that it's saved here on memory 80, then you can hit right. It'll ask you. Say yeah. Cool trick with that, by the way, if you get a bunch of your assignments set up and you want them to all stay, then you can hit right, and then you can change this here so you can make a bunch of copies of your favorite patch. So I've got a couple patches that I use for everything pretty much. Alright, so let me explain momentary and toggle. Go hit memory edit again, we can go back in, we're going to make a second assign. Be assign 2. Cool, it's on. And let's go ahead and make a loop effects. I know we've already got a loop effects button, but we're going to make another one just because it's a good example of what we're doing. So we're going to control loop effects on and off. You want to see min and max. I'll explain that in a second. Let's turn this to control 3. This way. There we go. Okay, so that's the source. That's the one that's going to control it. Then we get here, we get to moment and toggle. Most of the time you're going to want toggle. What that does is it flips stuff on and off. Let me show you. Back this up so you can see. So we set this to control the loop effects. So you'll actually be able to see it on the light over here. When I hit the button, bam, turns on, turns off, because it's a toggle. And we set the min-max to on and off. So it's going to switch between those two values on the toggle. So easy. If you have something else like volume or pan, you can put in actual numbers here. It's also really useful if you want to switch between specific effects or specific drum beats, all on a toggle. But now let me show you momentary for a second. You go back in here and you do momentary, and now what it's going to do is whenever you hit the button, it'll just activate it while it's down. Now for me, the min and the maxes are kind of weird on this pedal. If you have a different pedal here, it might be different for you, but for me, the min is what you've got when you push the button, when you hold it down, and the max is what you get when you let go. So set like that. Check it out. While I hold down 3, loop effects goes on. As soon as I let go, it turns off. So that's the difference between momentary and toggle. Now a lot of stuff, it doesn't really matter whether you're doing momentary or toggle, like on the undo function for example. I don't think it matters, but for other ones that have values like this, it does. Alright, so one more thing I'm going to show you has to do with if you're using the expression pedal to make assignments. The expression pedal is cool because you can go and hit all the values in between instead of just on and off. So you could have like volume and have it swell up, or an effect and have it swell up and down. So here's how that works. Again, hit memory edit. We're going to go to assign 3. Yeah, and let's say, okay, memory level, that's perfect. Memory level is the volume of all the tracks that you've already recorded, 1, 2, and 3. I use this one all the time. And you go to the min, that's what it's going to be when it's all the way back. So that's 0, so that's all the way muted. And then max is 200. 100 is exactly even to whatever you recorded on the input, so that would be twice as loud when it's all the way down. Yeah, so then you go over and you choose an expression pedal. XB1 is the one that's built right onto the board. You can have another one here, XB2, XB3, if you want to plug them into the control jacks. And then with this, momentary and toggle, as far as I can tell, doesn't really do anything. There's some settings where it doesn't matter, and there's others where it does. So there you go. That's how to make assignments. I hope that's useful to you guys. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want to learn about the RC-300 or any of the other gear you might have seen in my videos. I hope you'll like and subscribe. I hope you'll check out my other videos, check out my music. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day.